Hello, my young friends, those of you who have been preparing to receive the sacrament of confirmation. You have studied our traditions about the sacrament, reflected on and shared your faith, and no doubt through your service projects, you have learned what it means to be a missionary disciple of Jesus. Sadly, because of the coronavirus, the celebration of your confirmation has been postponed. But I want to assure you that as soon as possible, we will set a date for you to be confirmed. Nonetheless, I'm sure that you are disappointed by this delay, as I am. But it is important not to be discouraged or to think that this waiting time is a waste of time. For these days offer a chance for you to prepare even better for the sacrament and for the responsibilities that you will assume as confirmed Christians. In fact, I'm convinced that this moment of crisis presents all believers with an opportunity to better understand our faith and take up with fresh vigor our baptismal call as we reflect on how our lives have changed in these days. For instance, consider how we are all confined to our homes. We have given up our freedom to travel, shop, go to school, and work. We accept this discipline not only because we don't want to get infected, but also because each of us understands the need to take personal responsibility for breaking the cycle of contagion so that no one gets sick or dies. We are giving up our freedom so that others will be saved. This is precisely the decision Jesus made in dying on the cross. He sacrificed himself so that we would be saved and live life more fully. Jesus is now asking us to do the same in this moment of extending the stay-at-home order. We would all like things to get back to a normal routine, but we know that if we act too soon, people will get sick and die, and healthcare workers, already overwhelmed, will suffer the most. Like Jesus, we need to be willing to sacrifice so that others will be saved. Also consider how our confinement is making demands on our family relationships. Probably not since you were in grade school have you spent this much time with your family. You like to be with your friends and classmates? That is a great gift of your teen years, making friends and socializing with people your own age. But the time that you are spending together as families with your parents and siblings offers you a chance to value how being in a family, belonging to a church, attending a school, being on a team are all so important to the way human beings learn and how it teaches us that we are all connected as human beings. It is our elders, our parents, grandparents, teachers, coaches, pastors, and mentors who remind us that we all stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us, and that the acquired wisdom, the traditions, the customs, values, and faith they pass on to us shape us to be better human beings. We all like new things, but there are many old things, traditions of our faith, values, and standards of behaviors that shape our lives for the good, that are being passed on to us in these tender years of our lives. Let this time with your family help you appreciate what you are inheriting from the past: our Catholic faith, our values, our traditions, the wisdom of the ages, to the point that you will be inspired to pass this inheritance on to future generations. Finally, this contagion has taught us that we as mortal human beings are all vulnerable. No one is exempt from the threat of infection. We are all in this together. We are joined together in this common suffering, or as St. Paul wrote about 2,000 years ago, we are one body. When one suffers, we all suffer. We are schooled in this faith each time that we celebrate the Mass, for it is there that Jesus shares his vulnerability with us as he died on the cross. He teaches us not to be afraid of our common vulnerability and human weakness, but to let it draw us together so that no one is left behind. This is what it means to say Amen when we receive communion. The bread broken and the cup poured out. We are saying yes. We are willing to share in the suffering of Christ and the sufferings of each other, willing to be broken and poured out so that others may live. This experience of our common vulnerability needs to change us and remain with us long after this crisis is over. Not only will it help us appreciate the meaning of the Eucharist, but it also will spur us on to take up the task in society of making sure that no one is left behind and that everyone has an equal access to the goods of society, such as employment, housing, healthcare, a clean environment, and education, so that all can flourish. We cannot forget what we have learned these days. When one suffers, we all suffer. This is a time in your life when your minds and your hearts are filled with dreams about how your life will unfold in the years ahead. My simple prayer for you is that your experiences in this present moment will enrich and inspire your dreams about your future. Trust that in these days, God is making you a better person, stronger in your faith, and giving you a fresh vision of how He is calling you to live your lives as missionary disciples in service of others in a way that contributes to the world, society, and the church. I just ask that you please pray for me too. God bless you all.